Hi guys, it's Amy of Thing to Plan, and today I am here with my monthly flip through for April. So this is one of my favorite videos to record every month. It is my monthly flip through. I'll be flipping through all of my different sections for my functional planner, my personal planner for the month of April. Right now you can see it set up as a Frankenplanner. It is section number 1, work, but it's set on expander metal discs from the Happy Planner, and then it's also set up as a Frankenplanner slash transformer planner, which, if you don't know, a Frankenplanner is where you take multiple different planners and combine it into one, and a transformer planner is where you use different sets of covers to kind of designate the different sections. And so you'll kind of see that as I flip through this. I've been using the same setup for all of 2023 and it has been going great, and I anticipate finishing out the entire year doing the same system, so that's a first. Normally I'm like switching things up, but we're going to flip through all these sections. Now, just to kind of give you the caveat, I am flipping through pretty much everything. This is my functional planner. I write everything in here for all of the different areas of my life. I don't flip through in this video any of my memory books, so like the more decorative stuff that I do for my daughters, I don't flip through that. This is just simply all the stuff that I use on a daily basis to keep track of my own life. Of course, the girls are in here as well, but this is just the planning side of it. I think of their memory books as, of course, more like memory keeping or decorative planning. So with that being said, let's get into it. I'm going to flip through this very first section. As I go through, there might be some things that I do blur out, but I tried my best to flip through everything. So this very first section is work. I like to open it out just to kind of make it a little flatter, but I know the glare is like all on there. But in my work section, I do use a classic vertical planner. It is a disc bound planner because I cut it down from a coil bound. These are just like notes for different jobs that I'm applying for, so I folded those in there. But like, here's a list of jobs. I've been tracking like when I look at job sites to try to find different jobs. I love my job right now, my current job, but it's just something where, you know, I feel like it's that time to kind of explore different opportunities. So that's the section where I've been keeping track of all the different jobs that I've been looking at. And then here, for this perpetual calendar, I didn't really know what I wanted to use it for. So I decided, starting in 2023, that I wanted to track how many emails I send. So I split them up into different categories. So there's like 3 different columns. I don't actually draw the lines, but basically I have emails related to teaching, emails related to advising, and then any kind of other email. Administrative is kind of what I've labeled it. And I've just been tracking that. I need to go back in and look at the end of April. I haven't finished that out, but that's just kind of been fun. It keeps me on track to see how many emails I send. Like sometimes I don't check email at all, and then sometimes I check email and I don't really have to respond to anything. And then some weeks it's like emails all the time. So, you know, it just kind of gives me like an overview, like a bird's eye view of like how many emails I send. So I have the pages in here to do that for the rest of the year. And then right here, I decided, just ignore this for a second, but this is like the page that's attached to the back of the perpetual calendar, and I decided, because it was labeled for July 2022, I didn't want to keep that in here for the entire year. So what I decided to do was just convert it to like kind of an end of the year, like 2023 overview. And so I've already started for spring. I'm going to put right here my summer classes, and then right here will be my fall classes, and I'll just kind of cover all of 2023. And then I've been using this section to kind of track big goals for 2023, that, or like big tasks that I have for 2023. So like right here, the literature review, and then I did a presentation for a community organization, and then I'll blur that out just because it lists the name, but I'm tracking just like big things. These are things that I would basically put on like a resume. So like I'm just kind of tracking those things here, right? And then this is the end of March, and I was covering that up just because I felt like it was distracting. There's nothing on there that's like super personal. It's just like I just had to cover it up so I can talk about that side. But I did leave this in here because I was planning to update this and I never did. So I'm just going to go ahead and move it out. And as I'm flipping through this, I do realize as I'm going through this that one of the big things that happened is that end of March going into April, I was very happy with like my progress and just keeping everything up to date. But I also stopped pulling things out of here just because April was so busy for me. So I will, towards some of the sections, kind of flip through the March pieces of it and just go straight into April. But that's just kind of like a side note. Here is April for the monthly page. Let me remove some of this stuff. So for the monthly page here, I just track my hours. As you can see here, I had a random post-it, or like not post-it, like a micro from Dollar Tree that I had some hours in there. So I just left it in there. I did for a couple of months decorate this page, but then you see here it's just pen to paper for April, so that's totally fine too. This I'm going to put into May. I use that to keep my line straight. So that's April, and then here was the first week of April, which I decorated with a scrapbook kit that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I use post-it notes a lot, as you can see here. So there's lots of post-it note type stuff happening, and I just leave them in there. I mean, that's just kind of part of my planning. I'm totally fine with them being in there. Like here, I just left it in there, you know. Yeah, that's just how it goes. So this is the second week. I did pull out a random set of stickers. They all ended up being from the same kind of color story, so it worked out well for that. And then here, I have a sheet of paper that I taped in here. Let me move this out. Dropping sticky notes everywhere. But this is a random. I should have actually punched it and put it in there, but this is the third week right here. We have another like random kit, random being I just pulled it out of my box randomly, but it all ended up being kind of this wild style leopard thing. And I put this in here so that way I could just like keep it together with this week, because it belongs this week, but obviously the color does not work well. All right, and then this was the final week. Again, I'm gonna move this one to my current week. All right, so this is the final week here. There were a couple of boxes that I didn't write into. Oh, this is a to-do list. I need to move that somewhere else and do that. But this week is so nice and bright and colorful. And again, I have the back page here that I'm hoping to actually do it for the end of April going into May wrap up. I might do that today just to like get it done. Because I missed it for April. But yeah, so that's that. And then I of course have May in here ready to go. And as soon as I'm done with this flip through, I basically take these pages out. I've at least tried to do that every month, but for March, I didn't remove some pages. So I will again, like skip through some of it. So these are like, I won't flip through this, but this is just a random divider that I use in here to just keep like work notes that I have. So these are just like printouts that I have kind of punched in to keep with my work files. So I won't flip through that just because it's a little bit more personal information. Not personal for me, but personal for my job. Okay, so the second section here is my personal section. Actually, let me go ahead and put my divider back in here. I don't want to lose any of these pieces. So we're gonna stick it in here. Sneak peek into, it's actually not a sneak peek. I posted this video yesterday, but let me just stick this in here so I have all this stuff together and ready to go. Random like trash. Okay, so my second section is my personal section, and I have a couple of subsections in here. So I have my weekly planner, my daily planner, and my food log. And what I'm gonna do probably, I'll actually probably do it right after this video too, remove all these pages, but then also combine one of the sections, which I'll flip through and kind of talk about in just a second. I'm gonna combine my budget section with this personal section, just because it's smaller. I don't need a different set of covers for it. So anyway, for right now, for April, I have those three sections, weekly, daily, and food log. And in fact, I didn't even do the daily pages, so you'll see that in just a second. But here's personal. All right, and so I do have March in here, you can see here, so I'll just flip through that. I did flip through that in my March flip through, but this is the first page with April dates, and you can see here it's like functional, pen to paper, and it's pretty much like that for the entire month. So this side I keep like big events and big tasks that we have, and then of course I use this for tasks. This section I use for social media. This one I use for like any major budget things that I need for the family. And then I use this as a small habit tracker for like social media kind of stuff, social media or like things on my phone. And so I use that section for that. And then I have random notes and things like that in here. I'll have to blur that out just because that's some personal stuff, but you can kind of see like, again, it's just pen to paper. I did not use daily pages, and so pretty much everything ended up landing on these pages at some point, just because I didn't use any daily pages. And so it does look like very, very full because of that. And then like I have like a random sticky note, and then of course we're already into the month of May, so those May pages are in here. And in fact, I have pages all the way through until July, just so I can be able to write that. And then my second section here is my daily section. Now, in my April planner lineup video, I said that I was going to use like daily pages, like these daily pages right here, and this is what it looks like. But I ended up using none. Like I went until about like April 10th, and April again was just like super busy for me. So I went until about April 10th, and I was like, well, I mean, it seems to be working out where I'm just doing weekly planning. So I ended up just deciding to drop the daily planning. I am in May going back into daily planning. It's one of those things things where it comes and goes, you know. So because I'm so busy, I just don't feel like I have the time to devote to daily planning. I like to be able to see things at a like larger scale, or like not larger, but like more granular, like more detailed scale. But sometimes I don't have the time to write it, so I didn't do it for April. I did keep these in here just so you can kind of see that this is the spot, like the placeholder spot for it. But for May, I'm going back into using my letter size, so it's a whole different setup. I'll try to remember to link that video with my May planner setup so you can kind of see what that looks like. So that's the second section, which was unused for April. And then my third section in my personal section, the subsection, I guess, is my food log. And so I just have a random divider in here, right? So this is the beginning of April right here. And I do decorate these pages just because it's fun to get in here. I actually really love tracking my food. I just write my food down each column and have like little random pieces too. But this week I decorated with the same kit that I used to decorate my work planner, and I thought that turned out really cute. And I just write my food. That's pretty much it. I've gotten into the habit of tracking my food just because of like all the things related to like gestational diabetes, which I'm not pregnant now, but like I was just gotten used to it, and I've always like really been really big into tracking it. So yeah, so that's all the things. Random post-it notes again. This I'll have to blur out just because that's related, like some private information, blur that out. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. And this one was a DEK kit, DEK Designs kit, super cute with the foil. I love that. I know this one's like catching the light, all the light, right? So yeah, I just write all the food things down. I haven't even gone back in and stamped it. And at this point, it served its purpose, and I might not even go back in and stamp it. You know, it's just one of those things where, you know, it's done, so we can just wrap it up. And this is the last week here. I used a Will Away stickers kit. Turned out super cute, and this is the last week of April. So again, I do have May in here. These pages, just random pages that I've been using. And so that is my food log. Now that's my personal section. Again, basically it was weekly and food log. And I want to add in my budget section into this section, but I'll do that just pretty much after this video, I think. So that's that. I do have a section here, that's my faith section. So this is the third section with covers. And so this faith section, I have two subsections. So the first one is going to be my, let me remove this. This is just some notes that I've took for myself. But this first section right here are like outdated kids layout pages, and I'll show you one that's not written in. But these are the pages. I went ahead and redated basically all the way through July. And this is where I kind of keep track of like prayer requests that I have, or things that are coming up in my life that I want to just kind of put down. I keep track of any prayers that other people have told me that they want me to keep track of, and you know, I just pray about. And so I use these pages for that, and I've been loving doing this just because it keeps it a little bit more private. I don't flip through it in these videos, I just jot out my prayers. And so I just wanted to show you what it looks like blank, so that way you can see what that looks like. And so I have all these pages in here to kind of be set up for July, all the way through July. So I've been doing it for April. I started it kind of like April, let me see if I can take a peek, April 10th. And then, so I've just been doing it since April 10th. And it's been working out well. I really love it. So I have it set up basically all the way through July, like I said. And then I have, of course, other pages that I can use once July ends. And so what I'm going to do is flip to my second section. My second section is my daily journaling. And so I have here, like just the beginning of April, I decided to just kind of like go into daily planning for some of this. And so you'll see that it's mostly pen to paper. I just take, like I write down which verses, which chapters I'm reading through. I'm reading through several different Bible plans. And so this is kind of here, and I just take notes on it. Some pages I skip, you can see here. I just didn't want to write on the side. I just wanted to write on like just basically a blank sheet of paper. So I wrote there. And this day, just going back here, on this day I took a couple of notes, but mostly it was just me tracking what I read. And then again, skip this page, but I made it all the way through 1 Samuel. I'm actually into, well, I don't even know where I am now. I've had to take a pause for like about a week, so I'm a little bit behind right now. But then I'm like taking notes, doing all the things. I did decorate this. I know this is like super bright. Hopefully that's not hurting your eyes, but I did decorate it just because this is like all the extra information. I'll show you a blank page. All this extra information here that I didn't want, so I just covered it up just to cover it up. And I took notes, you can see there. Right, then this is here. I have notes from church that are here. Like, sorry it's sideways, but like I should just turn it and show you. But just notes from church, right? And then this is Easter, so of course we had to do all the things related to Easter. I kept it very simple. I do go to church with my small family, my immediate family, and so basically I'm taking care of Ruse in service, so it's just kind of hard to write at the same time. So it has to, I just do my best. And so then here, more notes that I just left on sticky note, and again, more notes, more notes. After Easter Sunday, we did decide to pick up a like new series. My pastor is moving into like a deep dive into the first book of the Bible, Genesis, and so we're starting that. I took more notes here, but then I went ahead and set myself up. I found a coloring book, and I'll try to remember to link this, but it's a Mr. Mac Bible. I think it's actually mrmacbible.com, and he has a coloring book that is like pretty much every verse of Genesis, and I am not printing out the entire thing, but I'm just printing out random pages to color. So that one was a terrible coloring job, but I did that. And so this was us starting that series, Genesis 1:1. All right, and then again, more notes from my own Bible studies during the week. And then right around this time is, like you can see here, it goes from 18 to 2021. And right around the 21 time frame, I stopped. So I've missed about a week and a half now. But we did, of course, go to church. And so these are the notes from church. And again, sorry they're sideways. And it is like mrmacbible.com. All right, and then this is like Sunday, and then this is the next Sunday. I skipped the entire week. So this is just from our bulletin. So I glued that on there just because I thought that looked, I don't know, I just like that. Right, and then this is the last set of notes for the 30th, right? So I did, again, like miss about a week and a half. I need to go back in and just kind of catch up. And that's my plan, is like once I finish off this week of work, I'll be able to do that. All right, and so I have like pages in here, like these random pages that I'm still trying to finish up for May, and then of course random coloring pages, things like that for my faith section. All right, so that was my third section, my faith section. My fourth section here is budget. Now I've already mentioned this, but like budget, I think because it's so small, I'm going to go ahead and take this out and combine it with my personal section. And all I need to do is just add a divider, like a divider, to separate the budget section from the other sections. And I think I'm going to do that. In fact, I might just do it now. Right, sorry for the noise. I'm just going to do it now. I'm actually taking off the rings. I'll flip it through it here so you can kind of see it. But I'm just going to pull it off so that way I do not forget. And I'm just going to leave it all together, right? So this is the envelope that I use to kind of keep my my receipts in it. And then what I do is just track all of my things, not all of the things, but basically planner related stuff, and then any online tech, educational online supplies that I need, I just kind of track it. And so I track it, the planners from the top and the tech stuff from the bottom, and they should match. And you can see I've missed all of March and all of April, so I'm going to go back in and update that at some point. I need to do that. And then I'm just using these pages. These are from an older budget layout, like a budget planner extension pack, and I'm using these pages just to be done with it. And then I mentioned in my May flip through that I want to be done with this as well. I'm just gonna pause it and just consider it a fail that I didn't get to this, but this is the Budget Mom savings challenges. I just haven't printed out all the stuff, and you know, it's just at the point where I'm just not going to do it. And then I put in this no spend to try to track for April, and I ended up not doing that as well. So I just need to move this and make it more prominent. I need to include it in my personal section so that way I can do that. And so I'm just going to pull these pages out so that way they will be there for that. And so let me take a look. I think I messed up something. No, I didn't. I just thought I messed up something. All right, so that was that section. And then the very last section here is my home section. So home is my section where I put any information that's related to budgeting, and not budgeting, oh my gosh, related to my home binder. So these are all like DIY pages, printables, things like that, all things related to my home. Again, like I haven't pulled out a bunch of stuff in here from March, and so I need to go ahead and pull those out, but you'll see me just kind of flip really quickly through some of that. I'm going to go ahead and jump right to the April section, which is right here. So we're gonna jump right here. This is the 2022. You can see that, and this one, this kind of teal one, is the 2021 one, and then I have also the 2023. These are the decluttering missions. Let me turn this one so you can kind of see it. It's the decluttering mission, Declutter 365 missions from Home Storage Solutions 101, and I put it in here thinking I would do it. I just have not. So yeah, that's that. All right, and then the other thing is, like, I have a couple of notes here. You can see here that I have some travel stuff related to that. I'll show you that in just a second. And then I started making some notes for like things I want to include in like a Easter. I don't know if I want to have like a whole planner for Easter, but I want to have a section somewhere in my home binder that's just like all of them, I would consider this a major holiday, but I just don't do a lot of planning for Easter per se. Christmas, Thanksgiving, those require a little bit more planning, so I need an actual planner for those. These I do want to have a seasonal section though to keep some of these notes. And so I started my little Easter list right here for things I want to do next Easter. And then the last thing I have in here is my spring bucket list, which I have not checked off anything. I did put it in here and I created this and I think it's gorgeous. I just love it. I just haven't done anything in here. I'm actually done some of these things. I just haven't marked in it, right? And so the only other thing is in this home section are my travel notes, which I was going to pull it and do it in this video. I'm still going to do it. I'm just going to go pull my travel binder. Okay, so I know that I've mentioned like this section, my home section, are all these notes that I keep in my home binder. So this is an example of one of the home binders, like kind of setups that I have. So this one houses my travel, my planner, my fun, and my beauty sections. So I'm gonna flip through my travel section just so you can see it. I flipped through this in my home binder video too, so some of it is exactly the same, but I've added a couple of things in here. Just so very quickly, these are like old notes that I have. Right, and these are not the ones from April, so I'm not gonna like linger on these things. Right, I have some extra blank pages in there, a Disney trip we took in March, some camping notes, Disney cruise tracker, and then my bucket list, which I just love this. I just love looking at that. It's just so pretty to me. Right, and then my packing list, and then I have some notes for like cruising. I love cruising, so that's there. And then a cruise packing list, another Disney packing list. So all that I flipped through really quickly. I do kind of linger on it a little bit more in my home binder video. But then this one is where I started keeping track of cruises that I want to take. And so this is what I did in March. And again, just flipping through it fairly quickly. I just kind of turned it to the side and wrote the dates in. And just kind of kept track of all of the cruises that I want to go on. But I did flip through that. I think I did, at least, in a separate video. So we'll get through that really quickly. And so the one section that I did add in here was my Disney planner. Now, I did a separate video on this, and I haven't really, like, decorated it at all at this point. But I haven't decorated beyond what I had in the original, like, setup video. But I do want to flip through it. These are the March pages. Right, I did add a couple of things here, like I added this, I know that, and then going into April, this is what we've got in terms of the setup. Nothing here, and then some of these, I need to like go in and print some photos. That's the goal. I do want to decorate this planner with like photos, just things like kind of keeping us like hyped up and just anticipating the trip, but I haven't done that. Some weeks are completely empty, as you can see there, and some weeks I have just like random notes. Yeah, and so that's it. So I know it's like super basic, but I have it in here for basically through June, which is when our trip is, the end of June. And so I want to be able to just over the next couple of weeks, kind of amp up my game and write a little bit more. I've been writing, you can see here, like news things related to it, tasks, things that I just are Disney related, even though it's not directly related to the trip. I got some shirts from my sister. All the Disney things just kind of land in here, so I love doing that. I'm going to include like Orlando related stuff. I'm going to include photos of family members who are going on the trip with us, just like in time, what are some of the things that are happening for us, like so in a single, like in this day, like maybe they just sent me a photo. It might not have anything to do with Disney, but I just want to include the photo. So yeah, that's my goal. And I have not done anything for this week, but you know, it's all here ready for me to do. Yeah, it's like fairly basic, but I feel like we go to Disney enough that putting together like a separate section just for Disney and just using it to track down, and it's more so like, you know, over time, can I kind of develop a list of things that I need to pack, do, like plan for, that could work for, like, maybe it's not necessarily like May 1st, but like it's like 3 weeks out from the trip, 4 weeks out from the trip. Can I do something like that? So that's kind of my intention with this. We'll see how it goes. It might just be for the single trip, and, you know, then I just never look at it again. Who knows? But that's my setup there. And so that is, that was my note here in my home section for the travel Disney. So that's that note. And yeah, at this point, we are done because I can flip back around and it's going to be back in my work planner. So that's the setup, right? Or that's the flip through of my planners here. I have my budget stuff right here on the side. I've got my travel planner, and then I've got my Frankenplanner. And this is the Frankenplanner that I've been using just to kind of continue. I just take the pages in and out. And so it's already set up for May. And now that this video is over, I'm going to take out the pages for April. I'm going to change out the budget stuff to be part of my personal section. Yeah, and so it just becomes like an evergreen system where I'm just kind of moving things in and out. And it's been working out really well for me. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video, bye guys.